Hello, everybody, and welcome back to more political chatter. This 2024 election prediction is between Joe Biden and Larry Hogan. So, of course, everyone knows Joe Biden is the president right now. He has said that he plans to run for re-election in 2024. However, this comes when he is deeply unpopular. His approval ratings are at the high 30s. Now, that is a serious problem for the Biden campaign. That will be an issue against any Republican challenger that may be the nominee. Now, don't get me wrong, I do believe that Donald Trump will be nominated by the Republican Party. However, Larry Hogan could definitely be someone who runs against him. I don't think that he will win, but this is just a hypothetical matchup. Larry Hogan is the governor of Maryland. He will be term limited in 2022. He cannot run again. He cannot run for a third term as Maryland governor. But he is extremely popular, and he's a Republican governor in a deeply Democratic state. And we've seen this in many states in the Northeast. The most popular governors in America are Larry Hogan, Charlie Baker, Chris Sununu, and Phil Scott, just to name a few. All of these Republican governors are Republican governors in Democratic states, and I mean solidly Democratic states. New Hampshire isn't solid, but still. Maryland, Vermont, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire, 4 Democratic states, have 4 Republican governors. All of them are extremely popular in America. So let's get started with this election prediction. First off, I do want to say that Larry Hogan will face a challenge when it comes to the Trump base. So Larry Hogan was a very, I will say, outspoken critic of former President Trump. I mean, he went after him many times. And on CNN a little bit ago, he basically made the case for himself and a 2024 presidential run. He said that there are many anti-Trump Republicans that feel like their voice is not being heard, and he is that voice for them. But still, him being very anti-Trump will cost him a lot of Trump votes in swing states, and it will be pretty hard to calculate how that goes against Biden's unpopularity and who will win many of these states. A lot of these states will be extremely, extremely close because of this. So Joe Biden will be able to win California, Washington, Illinois, New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Vermont, Maine's first, and Delaware, all solidly along with D.C. Going to Oregon, I don't see Larry Hogan putting up a very good fight in Oregon. I think that he would win there, or by a solid margin. I will put Connecticut back into toss-up. And I do think that these would be the only safe states for Joe Biden. Going to Larry Hogan's safe states, Utah, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana will go back into safe. North and South Dakota, Nebraska's second. Nebraska at large, Nebraska's first. Nebraska's third. Oklahoma, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama. I'll put Missouri back into toss-up. West Virginia. These, I do believe, would be the only solid states for Larry Hogan. I will add Hawaii into solid for Biden. Now, you might be a bit confused here looking at it, because, some of these states are just weird. Like, Maryland has not been characterized as safety, but Kansas and Missouri and Indiana haven't been characterized as safe are. So let's go into likely states now for Joe Biden. So going to the state of Connecticut, I do think that this would be likely for Biden. It was likely for Hillary in 2020, but Biden won it safe in 2020. Likely for Hillary in 2016, not 20. But, Larry Hogan will have a strong Northwest appeal, whether this be among independents and Republicans. It could stretch into that Democratic base. Connecticut with the suburbs, I really do think could be one of these states that goes likely Biden, not quite solid. I think the same thing for New Jersey for all those reasons. That's it for Northeast. Going to Maine at large, I don't see this being extremely competitive, saying that I do think that Maine's first would go safe Biden. Let's see, any other safe Democratic states? Yes, I do think that there are some. I do think that the state of New Mexico would be likely for Biden. I don't see Larry Hogan having much of an appeal here, because he's a neoliberal Republican. He's not really special, especially among like younger Americans, African Americans, just minorities in general. He's not special in a lot of ways. To be a Republican, you gotta be able to be have something unique like Trump did to make Colorado and New Mexico at least lean. But no, I do think that Colorado and New Mexico will go likely for Biden in a Biden versus Hogan matchup. I think that these will be the only likely states for Biden, not many, just four. So let's go into likely Hogan states. First off, I do think that Alaska would shift to the right in this election. I think it would be very close to becoming safe, but not quite there. I think that Texas will stay likely for Hogan. I mean, it was shifting blue for a while, but now it's kind of staying the same, saying that a lot of Latinos are now going to the Republican Party instead of the Democratic Party. And, it really has been slowing down as when it comes to it being considered as a swing state. It really is now, it has been for a while. Since Biden has been unpopular, it's becoming more of a Republican state, staying a Republican state, should I say. Going to Kansas, I think that this would be likely for him. Went likely for Trump in 2020. Nebraska's first went likely for Trump in 2020, and with that, just losing that little bit of Trump votes, well, not a little bit really. I do think that Kansas and Nebraska's first would be safe, or would be likely. Missouri was safe for Trump. Indiana was safe for Trump. I think that these were two states that were on the verge of being likely for Trump. But I think that with that loss of some of that Trump base, then I don't think that these would be safe. I do think that these would be likely states for Larry Hogan in his campaign. Going on to Iowa and Ohio, ultimately Biden is not winning these states, and he is not even coming close. Larry Hogan might not be Trump, and he might not have that strong Trump appeal in both of these states and the rest of the Rust Belt. But at the end of the day, he is winning these by a likely margin. These will not be close. Any Republican is going to win these two states. Let's go now to I don't know. South Carolina. I do think that this would stay likely for Larry Hogan. I don't see this going anywhere in any dramatic ways. So that finishes off the likely states. Now let's go into the lean states for Joe Biden. So I do think that the state of Minnesota would be lean for Biden. I think that Hogan really could make this close. I think that he could make this closer than Trump because he could have more of an appeal in the suburbs, especially among suburban women. I feel that many would choose Hogan over Biden, especially when it comes to abortion. Hogan is not he's not as pro-life as some of his as other Republican politicians in this country. Let's see, where else should we go? Going to New Hampshire. I don't know. No. Going to Maryland. Yes, we could do Maryland. Maryland, I do think would go to Biden. So Larry Hogan is extremely popular here. He's the 10th most popular governor in America, which is really good. But at the end of the day, this does tend to vote more Democratic on the presidential level, and I do think that even as with Larry Hogan as the nominee, I think that would have enough of an effect to cause it to go to Biden by a lean margin. Virginia really could be close, and I think that it would be close to becoming tilt, saying that Glenn Youngkin was able to win here against a Democrat similar to Biden. But just like Maryland, it goes Democratic more on the presidential level than it does on the gubernatorial level. I do think this will go to Biden by a lean margin at the end of the day. Nebraska's second, I think, would stay in that lean Biden, or it actually went likely Biden in 2020. I do think that it would go lean Biden in 2024, slight shift. Let's see. I think that is all the lean states for Joe Biden at this moment. Now let's go into the lean states for Larry Hogan. See, we still don't have any winner yet. Lean states for Larry Hogan. I do think that Maine at large would go to him by lean margin. Trump was able to win it by likely margin, but he had such a rural appeal that Hogan won't be able to replicate that, and it will hurt him in a district like Maine's second. Going to North Carolina, he doesn't have much of an appeal in these southern states, in these very Trumpian states, but Biden isn't coming close to winning them, as African Americans won't be as enthusiastic about voting for Biden as they were. They won't be in 2024 as they were in 2020. So North Carolina, I do think would be lean for Larry Hogan. I think that Arizona would be lean for Hogan, and this is a flip from 2020. If you remember, Arizona went to Biden by a tilt margin, and this was largely due to this being a traditional Republican state. You know, they have kept their traditional Republican roots. They went in big numbers for John McCain, for Mitt Romney, but Trump, they never really got into, and they voted for him in 2016, but not 2020. Larry Hogan is more of a traditional Republican type, and he will be able to win those McCain voters that stayed home for Trump in 2020. Now let's go to I think that's no, okay. So geez, I don't know. This one is really hard. I'll just say that this election matchup is extremely hard to decide these states. It really is. This would be an extremely interesting matchup if it were to occur. But anyway, going to Pennsylvania, I do think that he would have an appeal here, not really in the Rust Belt, but more so just in Pennsylvania, saying that it is very close to Maryland, and it is in the Northeast. You know, this is his kind of appeal base. It's the Northeast region. So I think that he would be able to win it by a lean margin, probably just a little bit better here than Trump did in 2016, but I do think that it would be close to becoming tilt. Anyway, I think that's it for all the lean states. So we have a lot of tilt states. So, I'm just going to go out and say it now. I don't think that any of these states will be voting for Biden in 2024. I think that Larry Hogan will be, nope, I'm going to do one. I do think that the state of Georgia will go tilt for Joe Biden in 2024 if Larry Hogan is the Republican nominee. I do think this because Larry Hogan will not appeal to the and this goes for many states, but specifically in Georgia, due to the fact that it went to Biden in 2020, and that out of these southern states, North Carolina, Georgia, and Florida, it is the most Democratic by far. He won't, win any of those stop the steal Republicans. There were a lot of them here, and they really contested the 2020 results in the state of Georgia. They did not believe in it. Georgia is definitely very much a Trumpian state, and a lot of them, especially in the South, will stay home for Larry Hogan. And I think that Biden will be able to win Georgia once again by a tilt margin. So now going into the rest of the states, Nevada I do think would go tilt for Larry Hogan. Obviously this state is shifting to the right in 2024, regardless of who the Republican nominee is. Hogan, I don't think much of an issue will come up, as most of the Republicans here are more moderate and wouldn't mind voting for Hogan. Going to the state of Florida, this one would be very close, as this is very much a radical conservative state, when it comes to Trump supporters. There's a lot of Trump supporters here who will refuse to vote for Larry Hogan because he is anti-Trump. But at the end of the day, with Biden's unpopularity and Florida shifting to the right, I do think that it will go tilt Hogan. Wisconsin, I only make tilt because of the fact that this state did go to Trump by the highest margin in 2016 and Biden by the lowest, so there are a lot of Trump supporters here who might not turn out for Hogan, but at the end of the day, Hogan wins it. And Michigan, I do think, would go tilt Hogan. And the state of New Hampshire, I do think, would go to Hogan by tilt margin, mainly due to his northeast appeal. That will help him in this region, and it will just narrowly tilt the state of New Hampshire into his column. So this is the map. This is a strange map. All right, 300 electoral votes for Larry Hogan to 238. For Joe Biden. That is a number that we very rarely see, because we are seeing Nevada go red, the entire blue wall go red, New Hampshire go red, yet we see Georgia stay blue. We see Indiana and Missouri become likely states for the Republican Party. We see, just in general, Democrats gaining in a few areas, yet Republicans flipping critical swing states. It really is amazing. So, here's the final map. Get it all in. Pause the video if you need to. But anyway, thank you all for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Click that subscribe button. Comment video ideas down below. And yeah, I hope to see you all next time. Thanks.